are off and ready to go. It is 8 a.m. Pacific on Christmas Eve, and Santa Claus has put Mike on a naughty list because he's taken his coach and put him in a terrible place that he hates because it's filled with French people.
It's like the first or second scene in a shitty Hallmark Christmas movie, right? This is the last part of a breakup, right? Your ex now has moved on to someone new. And in that
what are we talking about, Mike?
Mauricio Pochettino, former Tottenham manager, hell of a man, has been hired by Paris Saint-Germain, or as they will now be known, Pochettino Saint-Germain. And I'm happy for him. I really am. I'm not sad.
It's his former club.
It is his former club. He played there when, obviously in his career, but I'm also very much holding out for a return to North London. So I foresee this going very, very simply. I've looked at the last 5 or 6 managers that PSG have had. Their average tenure is about 2.5 years. What happens is they win the Ligue 1 every year because nobody is fucking good in that league.
They're actually behind Lille.
They currently are not in first place,
and
which
Lyon.
is why Tuchel got the axe.
But the teams are really, really good. Like, they're on 35 points, all of them.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's an unsustainable way that at some point PSG will catch and surpass. But the main point for them is they are a global brand. They liken themselves to the cities. Actually, they're very similar to City.
They're very similar to City, except
a nation state owns them, basically.
Except we don't have – but they went for superstars, and City have gone for, like, team building.
Right. Basically. They went for flash. Basically, the people behind the 2022 Qatari World Cup bidding – theft, yes.
They own PSG.
They own PSG. They bought Neymar specifically to be like, you're going to be the face of the 2022 World Cup. You're going to be the best player in the world by then. You're going to be playing for us. Yeah. So, anyway, point is, if you don't win in Champions League, which, by the way, they never have.
It's really hard. Only like 7 teams have ever won it.
I understand, but the point is that they have this unforgivingness and this short attention span and this short leash for managers that, like, 2 to 3 years, you're gone if you don't win the Champions League.
I mean, to be fair to Tuchel, he's kind of ornery, and they didn't replace any of his players because they have been slammed by financial fair play somewhat like City, except City just were like, nah, we're not going for that shit.
Right.
And it's good for Pochettino. I think the French league is really much better than people think. I mean, a lot of the best players in the world come from France. If you look at the last World Cup, France put more players into the World Cup than any country in the world.
Right.
So lots and lots of great players come out of France because of their socialist system, where they actually identify kids who are poor and put them in state schools and teach them how to play soccer the French way.
Yes. And that's true, but that doesn't mean that anybody can hold a candle to PSG as far as a team performance is concerned. Tanguy Ndombele comes to mind.
Right, but they have a lot of these systems in place. But Lyon are actually really, really, really good. And before PSG's dominance, Lyon had won 7 French leagues in a row, and they're back. If you look at all their expected goals and all that stuff, they're actually in the top 3 clubs in the world.
Sure.
Now. Absolutely. And then Stade Rennes also do the same thing, and they're the historical great team in France. And they also have a fantastic GM who's been putting players in and around the world. So is it Lille or Rennes? One of those two. One of those two is one of those.
They were in the Champions League, but Lille is not far behind. So you've got the tide is rising in France, and
because they're all trying, right?
They've all had to get better.
It's the Yankee thing.
I was about to say.
Yeah, it's the American League, late 90s, Red Sox, Yankees, arms race, and all the other teams are like, what do we do? Like, what competitive advantage can we have? How do we do this? And that literally put the American League 15 years ahead of the National League for 15 years. Like, they literally put the best players in the world because of the Yankees and the Red Sox. And I think it's actually declining now because of the Dodgers.
Well, I think it's declining because of baseball has gone out of their way to kneecap the Yankees and Red Sox, and the Dodgers are at Man City. They're like, we don't care. Like,
right.
But anyway, so I foresee this going a few different ways for Pochettino.
He'll just win the league. It'll be fun.
That's the thing, is that he's not a winner, quote unquote, right? Like, he's got that stain on him since Tottenham, I guess. I think Tottenham did that to him. Because it's not like he would have gotten that at Southampton, but he'll
get the league. I mean,
he'll get the league. He'll get whatever the League Cup they have.
The question though is can he reach Neymar? That is the difficult piece, right? Yes, he's South American, but he's into BLC's mode, which is this running. Can you get Neymar to show up? And if not, do you just try and win despite Neymar? Right.
Or do you think he would go full Arteta and Ozil? I don't think he can, right?
Not with Neymar, no. That's the problem at PSG is Neymar and Mbappe run the club.
Right. but for me, the thing is like you still have Mbappe, right? So I'm not that concerned. And you do have a lot of other talent around him.
Oh, no, there's good players for sure.
But that's what I mean. If you banish Neymar, it would create a schism in the locker room. But it wouldn't on the field. You wouldn't. I'm not.
Well,
saying
he's hurt, so he's lucky.
Right, he's hurt right now. But like that's the thing. If you get on a run, and I forget who they're playing in Champions League, but like if you beat the shit out of them, and Neymar comes back, you're like, hey, bud, you're a super sub now.
They're playing Barcelona again.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
that's right.
Anyway, but let's go back to our domestic world. So we've got Pochettino. He is in PSG. We had the Crappity Crap Cup, which is the lesser of all the lesser cups, and we had big boys in it. We had United. I can't even remember anything.
United City. Oh, who they won? Who they played? United beat Everton
Stoke.
On a last.
Right. Beat Everton. Excuse me. You guys beat Stoke.
Spurs beat Stoke. Closer than it should have been, but
Brentford beat Newcastle. Come on, you bees. And then Arsenal got smashed by City. It wasn't close. So that their rot continues at home, which is even worse. City really put the hurt on them pretty good. It was not close, even though it was 4-1, but it was 1-1 until like the middle of the second half, and
then they just blew the doors off of them.
So the draw is City. We have a Manchester Derby of City versus United, which is actually good because otherwise the teams wouldn't care. And then you guys got Brentford.
We got Brentford. We got a little Christmas present.
Dude, Brentford are good. Don't fuck with Brentford.
All right. Well, put it this way. And I said this to you yesterday. I still want Brentford to win the tournament. I don't think that this thing I know we can go down the whole silverware matters thing, but like especially in the context of like Pochettino
or in the context of this season when there's games coming everywhere.
Yeah, sure. But like what's going to happen is he's going to beat Brentford, and you're going to play one of the two Manchester clubs. And let's say you win that game in Wembley, and you finally get a trophy for the first time since 2008. There is a significant chunk of the Tottenham fan base that will say the fucking Carabao Cup, right? Beating Chelsea in penalties, Stoke on a Wednesday, Brentford, and then fucking City or United is more important than everything Pochettino did in 5 years.
Yes.
And it just breaks my mind. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Okay.
That is the purpose of Mourinho.
That's my point. Winning that game in Wembley against either United or City is bigger than Amsterdam. It's bigger than beating you guys at the Etihad.
No. I don't think so. Well, I mean,
listen, what I'm saying.
You and I take it from a very American perspective. I think like, just from my anecdotal listening and watching and whatever, they see a day out at Wembley as a thing, right? You did a thing. The fans got to go. It's really a fan experience, right? We're not looking. They don't have it. They're not in the I'm the GM of the team. The actual games don't matter. Did you get draft picks? What does your future look like mode? The way we are with our sports, which sucks because we've kind of ruined regular seasons for almost all the sports except football.
Yep.
Basically. And even that is like a little bit weird.
Well, not even because you've got Jets fans freaking out about winning
a game, right? Like the whole point is to win the fucking games. Right? It goes to my larger point of like the NBA-ification, the armchair. We're not even armchair quarterbacks anymore. We're armchair GMs, which is worse.
Well, I mean, look, if you
from a Spurs perspective, from a Daniel Levy perspective, from an ownership perspective, from a stick a point into the eye of an Arsenal fan, from Pochettino left, it sucked, but we got Mourinho. The point of Mourinho is to lift one of those goddamn shitty tin cups.
No, I get it. But here's the thing. Arsenal's a great example. Arsenal won the FA Cup last year.
Yeah, and they loved it.
They loved it singularly that day. It didn't change. Although, to be fair, that was the end of a really good run for them, right? But like towards the end of the year. But holy shit, are we going to be okay? They win the League Cup this year, and then let's say they continue to plummet down the table, or in the beginning of next season they start off shitty. Is anybody going to be like, yeah, but he won the fucking League Cup? No.
I mean, Kenny Dalglish got fired from Liverpool winning the League Cup. The League Cup doesn't matter until it matters. It's all about context, hope, where you are in your process. For Spurs, it matters. For United, for City,
matters for one day.
It doesn't matter. Well, I mean, it's like we talked about earlier in the week. Narrative. Mourinho's got to win because it's his narrative. His personal narrative is, I win fucking trophies, okay? Fuck football, fuck philosophy, fuck love, fuck all this bullshit. You had the ball. We'll take the 3 points.
Right. I'm starting to sour again on Jose, and it doesn't have as much to do.
See, this is the problem. This is his problem.
Right. It doesn't have as much to do as you would think with recent results, right? Like the weekend or the 7-day span.
They should have beat Liverpool. Come on.
Yeah. I'm not right. We're not talking about how they went from 1st to 6th in 7 days. Like, I'm actually like, fine. Listen,
that happens.
But understand the context of the situation. If you're going to do that, hey, it was a tough stretch, and I said it on our last show.
Yeah,
listen,
they still did okay.
They're doing fine over this insanely hard stretch of games, which ends, and we'll talk about on Sunday with Wolves. But you have to understand that you can't ostracize a fan favorite and then finally give him minutes and then scream at him on the pitch and then in the press conference afterwards.
Oh, that was awesome.
And
blasted him.
Like, so, and you know who else is going to PSG? Dele Alli. That's the next fucking move.
Next week.
Next move. Right? So I'm just starting to see everybody. This was another narrative early in the season, right? Oh, it's a different Mourinho. Oh,
no, it's not.
It's the same fucking prick. It's the same guy. And you know what? He's evil. He was always evil. He's still evil. He's always going to be evil. And the problem I have with this is that we're going to win the Carabao Cup, and I'm going to fucking not even give a shit. My first silverware as a Tottenham supporter.
You're going to give a shit.
I'll give this much of a shit for 6 hours.
I'm telling you, you're going to.
You know what's going to happen? I don't know who we're playing after that. Oh, well, it's in April now, so it doesn't matter. But like, they would lose the next game and drop 4 spots in the table, and everybody would be like, yeah, but look at this silverware. No, that's fucking ridiculous.
Well, and not only that, it doesn't even put you in the Europa League anymore. It puts you in some other thing.
It doesn't, which is another one I don't want to fucking win. So
no, you want to win the Europa League. You do.
Well, right now, yeah, because it gets you in the Champions League. But like, the goal is to be in Champions League already. So like, I don't. Yeah. It's the fucking NIT. Although that would be cool if the NIT winner got an auto bid to the NCAAs the next year. That'd be kind of cool.
Well, listen, the amount of things that are in British soccer that should be in American sports are endless. So I actually was I watched the this is a side note. I watched the Comedy Store 5 hours documentary.
Ooh.
And all I could think about was just like, what else could do for promotion and relegation? And I thought about dating, and there's a bit there, but I don't know what it is.
You can only date a certain class of human beings.
Right. You're down, you're up, you're moving around. Or like if The Bachelor had promotion and relegation.
Right.
They'd be like, you got to this Bachelor, he's a little fatter, now you're up to the next level.
Yeah. Oh, you cheated on that guy? You're back down to
it's a 10-point deduction. You go down. You go down the table. It'd be amazing. But only Europeans would get it. But let's go into the Boxing Day schedule. But let's talk about tradition. Okay. Boxing Day tradition. So Boxing Day is the day after Christmas, traditionally when servants and working people actually had the day off and got their gifts from their owners, basically their landed gentry. And so it's the big holiday for working class people. And Boxing Day football was a nod and a way to make money for these leagues that were soccer is a working class sport. People had the day off. They'd go after Christmas to the game. People go to the game dressed as Santa Claus. It's a whole thing. It's one of these it's called the festive period. And Boxing Day is the day after Christmas. And we get this, usually a pretty good slate of games, usually all at the same time. We've got
start off with a banger.
Yeah, we've got, I won't be up for it because it's 4:30 a.m.
I definitely will. Leicester City and Man United.
I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, Leicester City, Man United to start off the schedule. I'm excited about that one. I don't know. I think we're going to learn a lot about both teams in this game.
I think Leicester needs a performance because
they do. Well, they just put one in against Spurs, to be fair.
Yeah, but
I know. But here's the other thing with United. Everybody's blowing sunshine up their ass all of a sudden, and I've been one of them. But can they beat a real team? Right?
Listen, United
they beat
are unbeaten.
Leeds. They beat Sheffield United. They almost didn't. They drew against you guys. They beat West Ham. They beat Southampton 2 goals down. So that's a big win, but that's a month ago already.
But the issue is they don't. The big reason why the Leeds game was good is it was a performance from start to finish. The problem with United is you don't know. You get a half. You get 15 minutes. You don't get performances. And where Gary Neville says is, where you start the game, you're better than a team, you kick them in the fucking dick, and you step on their throat and finish them. Mm-hmm. And they just don't control games at all. They seem to fall down in games and then expect heroics. And they get the heroics because they have great players. Right. So that's really the issue, right? The issue and why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gets this, like, he's in, he's out, he's in, he's out, is because it does not seem to be a control at the hand of the wheel. It's we roll out the best players, we go down in a game, and we go again, right? It's the money on they put their dick on the table. Here's the money, here's the players, go win the game, right? Sure. Which is basically you could have Steve Bruce, and he would do the same with Man United, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what he literally believes that, right? That's what Newcastle does. He's like, well, if you have the best players, you win the game. So what am I doing? I just make sure that they don't lose it. I'm like, what?
Right.
And then on the other side, you have Pep, who's like trying to control them like little fucking pieces of moving them around, and like you move here, and I'm So
it's like he's like reenacting Civil War, right? With like the little pieces.
So I think Leicester are better coached. The question is a mentality thing. Can they go out and be like, we're fucking better than United, let's go win this game, instead of doing what they did against Liverpool, where they were awful and they just got murdered. We'll see how they do there.
Leicester's also, it's worth saying, Leicester's getting healthier at the back too.
The Ndidi thing.
I don't know about Soyuncu, but I know that Timothy Castagna, who by the way has been
back.
Great
he's
signing.
Good. Yeah, he was back.
He was back.
They're getting their fullbacks back.
They're getting their fullbacks. James Justin has done a phenomenal job.
Yeah, they're good.
Filling in.
Yeah.
So I think Leicester getting a little bit healthier creates more of a problem for United.
It's the Ndidi thing. Ndidi is the secret.
Sure, absolutely. I'm just saying the pieces around him.
Undercover Conte. And then they've got Vardy, who's like, the idea of like, it's one thing to have a goal scorer, right? Oh, a guy who scores goals, you're fine. You don't have to worry about that. But then to have an elevated, like above average, not world class, but awesome for England, it makes such a difference because I don't have one and I know how it is.
You do. He's just old and a little bit broken.
No, I don't have one. What else do we have? We've got Southampton need to get back.
Fun game.
Yeah, Southampton need to get back off the schneid. They played really well against City and would have beat any team aside from City. But they do lose Danny Ings again, so that's a problem for them. Villa, Crystal Palace coming off getting the shit kicked out of them, but they're on the road, which means they'll probably win.
Right, Palace show up.
They always win on the road, so they'll be able to play on the break against Aston Villa. Aston Villa secretly one of the best defenses in the league. Emi Martinez, I'm telling you, the dude is awesome. We know it, you know it. And then the other big game is Arsenal-Chelsea. This is not in the face for Arsenal.
Okay.
They cannot.
I have a question.
9:30, night game, Christmas Eve, get blasted at home by Chelsea.
I have a question. Does Arteta lose his job with a 2-goal or more loss?
Depends how they play.
If they lose by 2 or more, I don't think it does.
Depends how they play. It depends how they play. Like if they lose 4-2, having been drawn and then trying to push for it late, and they give up 2 goals late, that's different than dour and get the doors blown off them 2-0 without creating anything.
Mm-hmm. Right? That's kind of where I was going, right? If that's the case,
because Chelsea are just better, right?
Yeah, of course.
No, I don't think Arteta will get fired, but
that's the thing is that like Chelsea, like you said, Chelsea are a significantly better team at every position than Arsenal,
and they're not scoring, right? Like they're not getting anything from Werner.
They're going to,
but they've gotten I think 10 goals from the defense.
Yeah, but absolutely, and Reece James, who's out. By the way, here's actually this could be an upset special because Reece James, Ben Chilwell, both out. right?
But they still have good fullbacks. They still have
Aspilicueta comes in. Oh no.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but but more defensive, right? They're going to lose some of their fluidity.
But they're going to need more from Werner, like you said. He has the third most big chances missed in the league. I looked it up because of our fantasy league. Because I tried to trade for him. He has 8. I think somebody has 10.
Yeah, but
he's third.
The thing you want as a City fan, and I know how this is, they're creating chances. Like they'll come, right? Like anyone up front is scoring goals between Abraham and Giroud. They have depth. Havertz hasn't done anything. Like they've got stuff, right? Their one problem is they don't really have like a knitting midfielder, right? Their midfielders are more energy.
They haven't played him. I think Pulisic is the kid, but
they even right. But he doesn't play. He doesn't play deep in the middle, right? Right. If they play him there, he doesn't really do much, right?
It's weird. They've been trying to get, and because Frank Lampard fucking loves Mason Mount, and he's trying to get him minutes, so he's pushed him into that role.
Yes,
and I don't.
But he's more of a carrier. He's more of a worker.
He's a runner.
Yeah. He doesn't have those. That for him. I mean, he's good. Like it just players are different, right?
Yeah.
City played Newcastle. You'd expect City to win this game, but the way we're playing, this might be a 0-0. It's just like, fuck. But, hopefully Aguero's got minutes in the Carabao. Aguero could be coming back. They do have their strikers. They're just not striking their strikes. If that makes any sense. Hopefully City will just play less defensive and just be like, all right, it's Newcastle. Let's just fucking get this done.
So Everton and Sheffield
right now,
United.
I'd kill to have Callum Wilson right now. That's where
Here's
I'm at.
Here's a question for you. I was arguing with somebody on Twitter about this a little while ago. Actually, I forget his name. He said Raul Jimenez. City should have bought Raul Jimenez in the summer.
As a backup.
And I said, yeah, but like as in he was going to lead the line, and going into the year he was going to start over Jesus, and knowing that Aguero is in the wings.
No,
I was like, no chance. And the other thing is he's 29 years old, right?
Doesn't fit the profile.
Thank you. He doesn't fit the profile for City.
City don't buy guys 29 years old. They buy guys
not at all.
24, 25 at the latest.
Right. So what are you going to do? You're going to have him on the team for a year, maybe 2, and then he's going to be aged out. Like that's not a value.
It needed that. That's why, like, you think of someone like Divock Origi, right? He's their backup to the backup striker, right? But he accepts his role. He comes in. He does the thing he needs to do. If he gets 5 goals in a year, they did that. They have a guy, right? They have someone to fill the role. City don't have that guy. They don't have an Origi who's just a schnook, right? Like, what we really need is like Jordan Ayew, like some schnook, some guy to just be the guy, right? Who'll just be like, okay, you come in.
Amari Gray.
Yeah, well, he's good, but anyway. Well, he was good at one time. I don't know what we need is Olivier Giroud.
He was good, yeah.
Everybody needs Olivier Giroud.
We can skip, yeah. We can skip the next few games. There's 2 more. Liverpool, West Brom. If they put 7 on Crystal Palace, this might be 15-0.
Yeah, they might be lazy. They might just mail it in. Now with Big Sam, they're not going to. Big Sam, last manager to beat Liverpool at Anfield.
Oh. Well then, was that with the Thunder Cunt?
That was a Palace
Townsend goal. Oh no, that was against City.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, but Palace, right? Yeah, like. Yeah,
that was 47 years ago. It was during the Battle of Montreal in the War of 1812 that they actually got that win.
I don't see this going very well at all for West Brom. I think that Liverpool are really hitting their gears, and I'd be curious to see what the betting line was for Liverpool. I think it's
got to be +2.
I was gonna say 2.5, right?
Yeah,
like
it's got to be 2.5.
So that's, and I'd still comfortably take.
Oh my God! Here's a clash of styles: Leeds versus Burnley. I don't know what'll happen.
Oh God! That I was gonna say about Leicester City United too. Like, there's just a chance that both of those games suck.
Yes.
Like, we're like, oh man.
Yes, because they might sit back. You never know. But Leeds Burnley's kind of fun because I don't know what version of Leeds will show up. I know that Burnley can't score with them.
Yeah. No.
Although Leeds are terrible on set pieces, so maybe Burnley will just run to the corner and then just kick it off people's legs.
But if Burnley is a counterattacking team, I mean, Leeds just has no interest in stopping you from doing that. In fact, Chris Wood, who is one of those other guys who had BCMs.
Oh, yeah, I like that guy.
He had 2 goals against Wolves on Monday. So
you know what? Imagine City with Chris Wood. That would be like the most. Like he'd just be there, like just a drop of oil into like pristine water. Be like, who's this awful fucking hoof-footed monster on my team? Get out of here. He's Llorente all over again.
Yeah.
Another. I'm gonna keep talking about Brighton until they win again. They got West Ham. They're probably going to batter them and not score any goals.
That's a winnable game, I mean,
for West Ham.
I think for both teams.
Yeah.
I think that's
the big thing, right? Like all these teams they're not that different from each other. Any day someone can beat. There's only one good team, Liverpool, and yours.
I would say between 11th place Wolves and 17th place Brighton, and I could flirt with the idea that 18th place Fulham are there. There's really anybody is going to beat anybody on any day.
Yeah, it's luck. It's literally
it is a total fucking crapshoot.
Yeah, there's only a handful of really good teams, if that. And I would say Aston Villa are better than they're up there. They're like the 7th best team.
I was gonna say like I cut the line right at Aston Villa. Everybody after that.
And then you got Wolves.
Everybody after that. I don't feel good about this game at all.
Yeah, but but Wolves have been terrible.
But so have we. I'm back into that. I was touching my nipples on the outside of my shirts. I was feeling good. And then a week of that. And again, like I said, I'm souring on Jose. I don't feel good. This is a game that Tottenham plays well and draws.
They've got to have it though.
No, they play well and they draw. And I get annoyed.
They got to get it.
I'm telling you.
If they want to stay in this race, they've got to get this game.
Without question, this is a game that you must win.
Wolves are not good. They have 6 losses.
Wolves are perfectly fucking fine, but they just, without Jimenez, they've been struggling. With that said, exactly what they did to Chelsea is very possibly what they could do to Spurs. Neto and Podence on the break. It could get ugly.
Mourinho will just sick Sissoko and Højbjerg on them, and they won't go anywhere.
It's possible. But what I'm saying is that if they're chasing a goal in the middle of the second half, look for Neto and Podence.
You don't want to go down in this game.
I'm not even saying down, even if it's 0-0 or a 1-1, right? Like, if they are in the ascendancy and they've got the ball, ironically, and they're trying to go basically the last 10 minutes at Palace, right? Yeah. Where they're just fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
If they're like that for an extended period of time and don't score, Wolves are about to score. So I see it as a frustrating 1-1.
Well, I mean, that's the funny thing about it. Like, I mean, Tottenham have better players, but Wolves all these teams are really good. Like, and I don't trust City anymore. There's only one team that I trust to win a game that it's supposed to, and it's Liverpool.
So we are coming up on the January transfer window. We will talk about that next week.
Oh, God.
One thing I want to talk real quickly about with Wolves, Adama Traore.
He's not
going to Leeds United. Can we talk about that motherfucker on a Marcelo
Is he going to play the 9?
He'll play everywhere. It doesn't matter. He'll just run for days.
Oh,
that would be the most fun. I would be so excited about that. So
he would he would be everywhere, and he would try and kill Patrick Bamford for missing chances. I looked it up. Patrick Bamford leads the league in expected goals.
Yes, that's the guy. Big chances missed. 10. Patrick Bamford.
Yeah, no
that's
shit.
The guy. Yes,
they could be fucking way better than they are.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So,
but it's because they're creating chances. Like again, what we talked about at the end of last week. When you look at the table and you sort of see goals against, goals for, and you get to 14th leads, and you're like, whoa, those are 2 really crooked numbers.
Yeah.
It's like 24 and 30. 24 for, 30 against is just bananas.
It is.
Like they're just this outlier weird team, and I love every second of them, and I love every second of Brighton. And, those are my 2 teams that I'm going to die with, and Villa. Those are my 3.
Really quickly, because here's the thing. The games are going
to be on Monday as well.
There's games on Monday, so we won't get to speak to everybody before then. But I think Chelsea-Aston Villa is going to be a fun one. Everton-Man City, very, very interesting. Not a whole lot else. United-Wolves. But those are the 2 or 3 to look out for on Monday and Tuesday of next week. But yeah, I mean, we will see. There's a lot. There's a lot that's going to happen in not a lot of amount of time.
Yeah, there'll be between in 10 days in a week. we'll have played 3 games.
We'll basically be at the halfway point in a week.
Yeah. So it goes. Oh, even. Oh, yeah. Oh, then this weird. Then they get a break after the third.
Right.
Then there's a break of 12 days, and I think the FA Cup comes in somewhere.
I was gonna say, yeah, they don't really get a break. The Premier League gets a break, right? Because Spurs have the fucking Carabao bullshit on, I believe, the 4th.
No, that's in April. Oh, no.
The semis. So actually, match day 17. Oh, wait, no, there they are. Fucking Tottenham has to play this January 2nd against Leeds, and then the 4th against Brentford. I'll tell you what, Brentford's going to fucking win.
I told you.
Brentford's going to fucking win.
I told you.
And you know what? I'm okay with it. I'm happy with it.
No, Mourinho will punt that fucking Leeds game and go for the trophy.
I know he will.
He'll just play them and be like, fuck it. Can you play?
He played Harry Kane for 90 minutes on a Wednesday night in Stoke. He played his 5th full 90-minute game in 2 weeks. He's going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt in the next 2 weeks, and I'm going to fucking freak out. I'm going to freak out on this podcast.
Explain to me how Son doesn't get hurt. Son, I think not last year, but 2 years ago, played 70 games and flew to Korea in between those games because there was an article on Tifo about it. 70 games in a year.
Here's how, realistically, and this is not a slight on Sonny at all, Kane gets hurt so much because he's in dirty areas. He goes to get the ball. He
stretches like there was a play that he made in this game that he normally would have tried to stretch for it. I was like, he didn't stretch for it. He doesn't want to pop his head.
Exactly. So it's the hamstring, but it's also the ankle, the shins, like knees, all of those like crunching tackles. Sonny,
he's in between 2 defenders all the time.
Exactly. Sonny's on the wing, right? So he's a far less friction-based position, and he primarily plays on the break, on the counter, right? So like he's not running. He's sprinting when he can, right? So the Burnley goal, the Puskas winner, by the way, which we didn't cover.
That's an awesome goal.
That was sick. But that's a great example, right? He gets the ball in his own box and runs 85 yards, but he's not going to run that pace without that amount of time without the ball, right? Yeah. So that's the thing, is he's a runner like crazy, but he's a runner specifically when he sees an opportunity or when he's on the ball. And that's why he stays relatively healthy. Although last year he dislocated his shoulder, which was or his elbow. He stayed in the game, scored the game-winning goal, and then was like, hey, by the way, I'm fucking really hurt.
You know what it is? It's ancient Chinese secrets.
I believe it.
And Pearl Cream.
Oh man.
Seung Hing mom, Seung Hing son, and Seung Hing dad. Pictures. All right, Mike.
What a joke.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Should we oh, it's Thursday. Oh, I was like, should we hold this? I'm like, oh no, it is Thursday. Okay. It's not as good as football Cialis, but it's pretty good. So Merry Christmas, and we'll get something up for Monday. Maybe we'll just do it while the games are on. Fuck it. Or just after. We'll do it after the games. It'll be fine.
Rapid reactions.
Yeah,
we'll do it after.
All right, Mike. That was the Squeaky Bum Time Podcast with Mike Salerno and Laurent Cortines. This was a Crap Football, Crap Pundit production. We will return on Mondays and Thursdays for the Premier League season. We will talk about soccer and other things that interest us. Mike is crazy. Laurent is insane. That's why it works.